Hello and welcome to the Daughters of Charity Health System. My name is Iwen, and in the following videos you'll be learning how to navigate and document in our system called ARCIS, created by Quadramed Computerized Patient Record. ARCIS stands for Accessible Real-Time Clinical Information System, which aligns with the Daughters of Charity Vincentian values of advocacy for the poor, respect, compassionate service, inventiveness to infinity, and simplicity. To begin, locate the ARCIS prod icon on your computer desktop. Double-click and the program will launch. In the training environment, I'll be using a slightly different program. Okay. Once the program launches, you will be taken to the log-on screen. You'll be given a user ID and password prior to your first day at work. Click on the user ID field and type in your user ID. Then you can press Tab to jump to the next field, or you can click on the next field to take you there. Okay, type in your password. You'll notice that on this logon screen, you'll also see important contact numbers in case you do need help with the ARCIS system. If you're a St. Vincent employee, the physician and non-physician help numbers are listed here. Non-physician is extension 5700, which is our IT extension that you can call for any IT-related issues. If you're a St. Francis employee, the numbers are listed here as well. For Maindesktop support, the number is listed at the very bottom. If at any time you need to change your password, either your password is about to expire or it's your first time logging on, you can hit the Change Password button to do so. Click OK to log on. The first screen that you see is called your Maindesktop. At any time that you need to return to your Maindesktop, you can hit this Maindesktop icon, also known as the big house. Across the top are your Maindesktop level shortcuts. First shortcut is your patient search. It allows you to search for patient either by name or by their medical record number. You can choose what type of patient they are to narrow down your search. Either they've already been discharged, or they are active short stay, or more broad, they're inpatient/short stay. Or you can narrow down by unit. To search for a patient, you can type in the first couple letters of their last name and use the wildcard symbol -- and that'll bring up all the patients with the last name that start with the first two letters that you've chosen. Scroll down by pulling down the bar or using the arrows to search for your patient's name. Okay. The next button is the intranet button, which takes you to the Daughters of Charity Health System intranet. Okay, you can locate by your facility. Inside you can find your facility's policy and procedures, for example, as well as the cafeteria menu, for example. The next button is your provider info button. It allows you to look at all the physicians or any other staff on the case. Okay. For example, let me find a patient here. Okay. To select, you click once and press OK, or you can double click. Okay. This patient has admitting physician, attending physician. It also shows other staff members such as respiratory therapists as well as physical therapy. Okay. Next icon is your drug info. Here you can look up medication indications, adverse reaction, compatibility, etc. This gives you quick access to the calculator where you can total up your intake and output, as well as calculate any medication dosages, for example. This is the transfer chart print. In the case that you are discharging or transferring your patient to another facility, you can print the patient chart. Next icon is the telephone directory where you can find physician phone numbers. To do so, read your transaction line, which will always instruct you on what to do next. So here we have enter directory listing partial word or choose option. To look for physician name, you click personnel directory, or you can type in P as you see here in parentheses and click OK, or you can press enter on your keyboard. Enter employee partial name. For example, if you're looking for a Dr. Kim, I'm going to type in KIM and I'm going to use dash, my wildcard. I'm going to press enter on my keyboard, the same as clicking OK, and it will bring up all the physicians with the last name Kim. Once again, you can drag down your scroll bar to look through the list. Okay. Next we have training manual. This gives you an overview on how to use ARCIS if at any time you need a readily accessible resource. Okay. This button, email and messages, as well as this button, mail, are not linked to any non-ARCIS related communication or servers. Just a reminder, it is not to be used in any sort of communication regarding patient care. Occasionally, you may receive communication from the informatics team regarding the use of ARCIS itself or any updates, for example. This button, log off, you are to log off anytime you leave your computer to protect patient information. Okay. Just a note, do not use this X button to X out because that closes the program entirely and will cause you a longer time to relaunch that program. So stick to using this log off button. In the preferences is where you can adjust your font size. The default is 12, as you can see, and you can just choose the size that you would like. Just a note, the larger your font size, the less you can see per each window. So you're going to have to make sure that you scroll either sideways or up and down to make sure you're viewing all the information that's there. Our last button across the top is the Help About button, which also gives you an overview on how to use ARCIS. Now, if you right-click on the Help About button and then click More Information, that will show you your device number, which is the ID of the computer that you're using. This may come in helpful if for any reason you need to call IT at extension 5700 and they need to know which computer that you're using. Okay. I'm going to click Close to close this window. As you may have noticed, as I was clicking these icons and opening these applications, they are listed here on the side. This is called your active taskbar. Any applications that were opened will remain open and available on your active taskbar. To close these, you can just click that X and close them out. Okay. Now, to return back to your main desktop, you click that big house and you're taken back to your original screen. Now here we're looking at your main desktop tabs: patient care, management activities, and e-library. Now usually when you go on your main desktop, one of the most important functions on your main desktop is creating your self-assignment. Your self-assignment can be made by coming to the staffing block. Each of these boxes is called a block. This is your staffing block, your signatures block, your work list block. You go to your self-assignment, you click it, okay, and read your transaction line. Here it says, select schedule date time to edit or choose option. Now there are no dates or times for me to choose up here, so I want to add. So you can click add, or as mentioned before, you can type in that A in the parentheses, and press OK, or click or press Enter on your keyboard. Okay. Now read your transaction line. Select your staffing group. That's the unit that you're working on. Okay. So right now I'm going to select 4 West as my staffing group. I double clicked on it, or you can click it one time and press OK. Read your transaction line again. Enter schedule, date, time, or choose option. Okay, so I'm going to enter my date and time. The computer is defaulted on your current date. So I'm going to put in the time, which is the date and time that you started your shift. I'm going to put 1900 for mine. And then you can press Enter on your keyboard, or you can press OK. Alright. Now once again, read your transaction line for instructions on what to do next. Select schedule date time to edit, or choose option. So I can select this date and time that I just put in. So you can double click or click it one time and press OK. Okay. Currently defined assignments. This list is empty because I haven't defined an assignment. So I want to add. Okay. Now you can choose your patients off of this list. Be sure to note what section you're under. The first section is nurse assistant. I want to scroll down to my RN LVN section. Okay. And here you can select your assignment. So you click to select, and then it's shaded gray to show that's been selected. To select multiple options, you hold down the control button. It'll say CTRL on the left bottom corner or the right side. So you hold down the control button and you click the other patients that are also yours. Then you let go of the control button. Then you can press Enter or click OK. And then your assignment becomes defined. If you're okay with that, you press OK and move on. If you want to add or delete to this list, you can use the corresponding buttons to do so. Press OK. To accept your assignment, you click the Accept Assignment key. Just a note, the Accept button is what finalizes anything you do. So any documentation that you finish, any orders that you put in, you must accept them for it to finalize. So I'm going to click Accept Assignment to finalize. Press OK again, and that brings you back to your Maindesktop. As you can see in your Assigned Patients block, no patients are found even though we just made my patient assignment. Anytime you do something new, you need to refresh that window. So you see the circling arrows here, that's your refresh button. Go ahead and click that, and it updates the system, and the patients I just added show up in my assigned patients. As you can see, I can only see 3 of my patients because of the size of this window. So you can scroll down to look at it, or oftentimes you might need to expand this window by pressing this icon in the corner. Okay, so when I press that, it enlarges and I can get a better view of what's inside that window. Okay. To open up a patient chart, you click on the patient to select, and to select multiple patients, once again you hit that Control key on your keyboard, click on your patients, press Go to Patients. Okay, and as you can see, the charts have opened up. Okay. And the different patient charts are color-coded on the side. Okay. And this is called your patient level desktop, which will be covered in another module. At the end of your shift, you have to do a staff sign out by going to your Maindesktop, select staff sign out, select the date and time that you're going to sign out of by clicking on the date and time, press OK. Any unfinished things on your work list will be here. Be sure to finish that up accept your sign out, and then log off. Thanks.